I will be teaching on the topic genetic testing. This topic is for BSc second year. It is from the subject genetics and it is from the unit 5. So let us see the definition of genetic testing. It is defined as examining a sample of blood or other body fluids, or it can be tissues, for biochemical or chromosomal or genetic markers that indicates the presence or absence of genetic disease. So basically genetic testing क्या करते हैं कि we are examining blood or we are examining the body fluids like saliva or any other fluids of the body, or we can examine the tissues, okay, and this is for biochemical, to check for the chemical enzymes, then to check for the chromosomes, okay, कोई भी alteration in chromosome number या कोई defect in the chromosome numbers, or genetic markers, any changes in the DNAs, in the sequence of DNAs. So these are they can indicate whether there is a genetic disease condition of the patient or not. So this is genetic testing. Okay. So another definition is a genetic testing is analyzing a DNA to look for genetic alteration. So we are analyzing the DNAs of the person. Okay, and we are checking for genetic alteration, any changes in the genes that indicates an increased risk for developing a specific disease or disorder. Or we can also, the definition is, it is also defined as a type of medical test, identifies the changes in chromosomes or changes in the genes or changes any of the proteins. Okay, so this is about the definition of genetic testing. So why do we perform genetic testing? So there are some reasons. Okay, so these are some reasons for genetic testing. Number one is to finding out the genetic disease in an unborn child. Okay, if the mother is pregnant, okay, and if she wants to perform some genetic test to check whether the baby is is genetically normally or not, then we can find out the genetic disease in unborn child, but the child has not yet been born. Next, finding out if people carry genes for a disease and might pass it on to their children and to future generations. So this also is the reason for genetic testing. This can be done in the family members. Okay, to check if any of the family members, they are carrying a mutated gene, okay, in their body, and this they have a big chance for passing on to the future generation. Next, for screening embryo for disease. Next, for testing genetic disease in adults before they cause symptoms. Okay, so in asymptomatic patients where they have no symptoms, to check on these adults whether they are having genetic disease condition. Then making a diagnosis in a person who has disease symptoms. So if a patient is having symptoms of genetic disease, then we will perform the genetic test and we can confirm that the patient is suffering from a specific genetic disorder. And last is figuring out the type and dose of medicine that is best for certain person. So for providing very good medicine or providing the dose or what type of medications we have to give to the patient, this genetic testing is also very helpful. So these are some of the reasons for genetic testing. Now coming to the types of genetic testing. So there are many types of genetic testing. Okay, so let us see the first one, that is prenatal testing. So I have taught you on prenatal testing, screening test. Okay, so I will not go into detail, but just a brush up. So prenatal testing, it is used to detect changes in a fetus genes or chromosomes before birth. Okay, so this is usually do it before birth. That is when the patient is still, when the mother is still pregnant. And this type of testing is offered to couples with an increased risk of having a baby with a genetic or chromosomal disorder. Okay, so here consanguinity atopy. Okay, or couples who are related to each other. Okay, so they can perform this prenatal testing to check whether their babies who will be born, they will have normal genetic they will have normal genes or normal DNA. And last is it helps them to decide whether to abort the pregnancy. So if the couples, they find out, if the result is out that that the baby will be having genetic disorder, then it will give them time to think whether to abort the pregnancy or not. Okay, so this is prenatal testing. This is the first type of genetic testing. Second is newborn screening. Okay, it is carried out on a large section of newborn population. So this is mostly performed on newborn babies, okay, not on pregnant mothers. And it provides a mean to identify the infants who have increased risk for developing genetic disorders. So it helps us to identify whether this baby which has been born is suffering from any genetic disorder. It is used just after birth to detect genetic disease that can be treated in early life and to prevent disorder. So this newborn screening is performed after birth, okay, when the baby has been born, okay, and it helps to detect the genetic disease condition, and it by detecting this genetic disease condition, it will help the doctors to decide which treatment should be given to the baby and how can they prevent it. So this is a newborn screening. Third is predictive genetic testing. Predictive मतलब predict करना है, ठीक है, हम मतलब what we are seeing in the future, हमें predict करना है. So it is used to detect gene mutation associated with disorders that appear after birth, often later in life. मतलब after birth we can perform on the babies, or we can perform on infants, or we can perform on children which are still growing. Okay, so this genetic test, predictive genetic testing, is useful to detect the gene mutation, any changes in the error or any errors in the genes or any changes in the genes. This we can detect, and it is made available to the asymptomatic individuals. So it is performed on individuals or children or person who does not have any symptoms of genetic disease. Okay, they are not showing any genetic disease, so we can perform this test to detect whether they are positive or negative for genetic disease. Then fourth is carrier testing. Okay, carrier is a person who is carrying the defected genes, okay, or the mutated genes. So this test is completed on asymptomatic individuals. So this is performed on asymptomatic, means patients who are not showing any sign and symptoms of genetic disease, who may be a carrier of one copy of gene alteration that can be transmitted to future generation in an autosomal recessive or X-linked pattern of inheritance. So this carrier testing is performed mainly on patients who are not showing any sign and symptoms of genetic disease condition, and they may be carriers, okay, of one copy or two copies of gene or changes in the genes, okay, that can be transmitted to the future generation, to their future children, and this can be in the autosomal recessive pattern of autosomal recessive genetic disease, or in case of X-linked pattern of inheritance. Then carrier testing, it may be a part of couples pre-marriage or pre-conceptual planning. So this also, like before getting any, before the couples they get married, okay, so they can perform this carrier testing to check whether the other person is having any genetic disease or is carrying any mutated genes in their body. Okay, so this is performed pre-marriage, that is before marriage, or pre-conception, that is before conception period, before before they plan to have children. Okay, so this is about carrier testing. Fifth is diagnostic testing. Okay, so this is used, it is used to diagnose or rule out a specific genetic or chromosomal condition. Genetic testing used to confirm a diagnosis when a particular condition is suspected based on physical mutation and symptoms. So if patient, or if a child, or if an individual is showing signs and symptoms of genetic disease condition, okay, then we will perform the diagnostic test. Okay, so that we can confirm whether the patient is positive or negative. So this diagnostic testing is performed on patients with symptoms, okay, on symptomatic patients. So diagnostic testing can be performed at any time during a person's life, but it is not possible for all genes or genetic conditions. So we can perform this test whether in newborns or in children or in adults or late adulthood. So it can be performed on any age group. Okay, so this is diagnostic testing. Next is forensic testing. Okay, so if, suppose there is a crime, or if there's any you know or if there's any catastrophic victims, or if there's an accident, or if there's any bomb blast, or if we are trying to find whether the patient is we are trying to find the patient's identity, then we can perform this forensic testing. Okay, so forensic testing it uses DNA sequences to identify an individual for legal purposes. Okay, if we are trying to find whether this patient belongs to this family, or we are trying to find the patient's identity, then we can do forensic testing, but this is only for legal purposes. It is not used to detect genes mutation associated with disease. So this forensic testing is not indicating any genetic disease condition. Okay, it does not show whether the patient is positive for genetic disease condition. Okay, it only identifies crime victims or catastrophic victims, or if you want to establish a relationship between two people. So like trying to find the father of the child. Okay, suppose we do not know the father of the child or father of the baby, and we can perform this forensic testing to check whether this child belongs to that father. Okay, by checking by using the finding out the DNA sequence. So this is forensic testing. And last is research testing. Research is what do you want to know more about about genes, or you want to know about chromosomes, or you want to know more about these genetic disease conditions. So it includes finding the unknown genes, okay, learning how genes they work, and advancing our understanding of genetic conditions. So if a individual wants to know more about the genes, wants to know how the genes function, and they want to know more about the genetic disease conditions, so they can perform research. So this is research testing. The result of testing done as a part of research study, they are not available to patients, and they are not available to the healthcare providers. Okay, so this is because this is only research. Okay, so it is confidential. Okay, so this is research testing. So these are 7 types of genetic testing. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, so there are others also, like organ transplantation, tissue typing. Okay, before performing any organ transplantation, in case of liver transplant or heart transplantation, so if you want to know whether that donor, okay, who is donating his organ, whether he is having any genetic mutation or is having any genetic disease condition. So if you want to find it out, then this is the type of genetic testing. And last is pharmacogenetic testing. This is helpful for pharmacy. Okay, trying to find out which medicine will be helpful to decrease genetic disorders, or which what dose or what are the chemicals required. So these are all in pharmacogenetic testing. Okay, so these are some of the other miscellaneous types of genetic testing. Now, what are the benefits of genetic testing? Okay, it provides for early screening and preventive measures, future planning and life preparation, lifestyle adaptation. Then it provides for decreased confusion and anxiety, provides psychological stress relief, reproductive choice, and informed extended family members. So the family members also, they will be informed, okay, that they are having this genetic disease condition, and it can be passed on to their next generation. So these are the benefits of genetic testing. Next, coming to the genetic test techniques. Okay, so this is different from the genetic testing. So there are some techniques for genetic testing. So there are three types. One is the molecular genetic test, one is the cytogenetic test, and third is the chemical genetic test. So let us see first with the molecular genetic test. Okay, so these are some of the tests. Okay, the diagnostic test that is available under the molecular genetic test. Number one is direct DNA testing. It is a test for presence of genes causing genetic disorders. So this direct DNA testing is only detecting, or it is only trying to find out if there's any presence of mutated genes or any error in genes which causes genetic disorder. Second type, linkage testing. It is a it tests genetic material from family members for genetic markers. So this is linkage testing is performed in family members. Okay, we want to know whether the grandmother is having any genetic disease condition, then trying to find out whether a mother is having any genetic disease condition, trying to find out whether the children also. So like not only that, but uncles or aunties in the family, okay, or cousins. So if they are having any genetic errors, okay, then this test is called linkage test. This can be performed. Next, methylation study. It examines the attachment of methyl group to DNA molecule. So if we try, this test will help us to identify or to examine whether there is any attachment of methyl group to the DNA molecule. Next test is protein truncation test. Test for proteins that have been shortened and altered function. So we are trying to find out whether the proteins they are being shortened, okay, whether the proteins have altered function. So with the help of this test we can identify that. Next is uniparental disomy. It tests for two chromosomes from same parent rather than one from each parent. So we are identifying two chromosomes from the mother, two chromosomes from the father, whether there is any alteration or is there any genetic errors in the proteins. Okay, so here protein uniparental disomy means two. Okay, so we are trying to test the two chromosomes from each parent, from the mother, two chromosomes from the mother and two chromosomes from the father, rather than one chromosome from each parent. Okay, so it is better to perform two chromosomes. So this test is called uniparental disomy. And last is X-linked inactivation studies. So this it tests for carrier status in women with X-linked disorder. So if you want to know if the female or the woman is a carrier, okay, it's an X-linked carrier, then we can perform this test to identify the carrier status of a woman, okay, with X-linked disorder. So these are these 6 tests of molecular genetic tests. Next, cytogenetic test. Okay, so there is FISH. So this also I have taught you in the last class. So fluorescence in situ hybridization, okay, or short form FISH. It identifies the presence of or absence of chromosome segment. So if there's any chromosome which is any deletion of chromosome, or if whether chromosome is being deleted, or if there's any extra chromosome, then we can perform this test, FISH test. Okay, so it is a cytogenetic test. Then last is a chemical genetic test. Okay, so we are using the chemicals. So first is the analyze testing. Presence of any substance in the body indicative of genetic disorder. So this test will help us to identify the presence of any substance which is present in the body, and it can detect the genetic disorder. Next, the enzyme assay. It measures the rate of chemical reaction of an enzyme in the presence of a particular protein which is associated with genetic disorder. So here we are just measuring the rate of the chemical reaction of the enzyme in the presence of a particular protein which is associated with genetic disorder. And last is protein analysis. We are testing for structure of proteins which is known to be associated with genetic disorder. So here we are checking the structure. Okay. So the structure of protein. So this is protein analysis. So these are the types of the genetic test techniques. Okay. So we have the molecular genetic test, cytogenetic test, and the chemical genetic test. And last is the ethical issues. Okay, there are some issues which are related to genetic testing. Okay, so these are as follows. Number one is informed consent. So informed consent should be taken before any testing is to be performed. This informed consent should be taken from both the parents. Okay, from the wife, it should be taken from the husband also. Okay, and if the individual is above 18 years, okay, then we can take their consent. Next is confidentiality. Confidentiality means we should not spread or there whatever the results, okay, whatever the results have come out, वो confident होना चाहिए, confidential होना चाहिए. Okay, it should not be spread to other people in the hospital or in the OPD. Okay, so it should be confidential. Their file should be confidential. Okay, we should not spread the information. Next is privacy. So we have to maintain privacy of the we have to maintain privacy of the medical records. We have to maintain privacy of the pregnant mother also while performing the test. And last is discrimination. There should be no discrimination. Okay, if if someone finds out that that person is having a genetic disease, then there should be no discrimination. Even in the family members also. Okay, in the family also there should be no discrimination. So these are some of the ethical issues which are associated with genetic testing. Okay, so we have come to the end of the topic for today. So I hope this is very clear. Okay, so that is all about genetic tests. Thank you, class.